Welcome to our channel where hidden treasures, forgotten coins, and rare numismatic wonders turn everyday pocket change into unimaginable fortunes. And in today's exciting and mind-blowing episode, we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing coin discoveries of our time, the legendary 1989 Washington quarter dollar. A coin that has sent shockwaves through the numismatic community and stunned collectors around the world with its astronomical valuation of a jaw-dropping $555 million, not for being made of gold or embedded with diamonds, but purely because of the mind-bending errors, rare minting flaws, and remarkable anomalies that have set it apart as a one-of-a-kind phenomenon in the realm of rare United States coinage. And if you're holding on to an old quarter from 1989 with a little P mark near the bust of George Washington, it might just be your lucky day, because this story is unlike any you've ever heard before and starts with what appears at first glance to be just another 25-cent piece. But beneath its humble copper-nickel surface lies a staggering array of anomalies that have turned numismatics on its head and sparked furious debates among top experts, collectors, and even the U.S. Mint itself, because this particular quarter is no ordinary circulating coin but rather a perfect storm of mechanical mishaps, human oversight, freak material defects, and production blunders that all culminated in creating what many now refer to as the ghost coin or the phantom quarter, a single specimen whose origin is shrouded in mystery and whose value skyrocketed not just due to rarity but due to the sheer complexity and magnitude of its bizarre imperfections, starting with the most obvious and shocking error of them all, a quadruple strike that left overlapping impressions of George Washington's profile across the obverse, each slightly rotated and offset, creating a surreal, almost holographic effect under the right lighting conditions. And when viewed under magnification, the multiple profiles appear layered like echoes frozen in metal, defying the standard minting process, which is supposed to produce a single clean strike with crisp and uniform detail, and that alone would make any coin rare and collectible. But this particular quarter also shows signs of an off-center strike where the die alignment slipped dramatically, causing part of the obverse image to be pushed toward the rim and beyond, warping the inscription and partially cutting off the word Liberty in a way that overlaps the edge reading and intrudes upon the collar area. And speaking of the collar, what's even more bewildering is the evidence of a misaligned collar strike that caused a double rim effect on the reverse of the coin, producing what numismatists call a railroad rim, a strange appearance that looks like a set of concentric rings where only one should exist. And that's just the beginning, because under further examination using scanning electron microscopes, experts discovered microcracks and die cuts forming a spiderweb pattern across the surface of the quarter, indicating that the dies used to strike this coin were in a catastrophic state of deterioration, something that should have prompted immediate replacement but somehow went unnoticed or was deliberately overlooked due to unknown reasons. And then there's the anomaly in composition, as this coin deviates from the standard clad composition of copper sandwiched between nickel layers and instead exhibits trace amounts of silver and tin in irregular pockets, leading some metallurgists to theorize contamination in the planchet blanks or possible experimental alloy testing that was never officially disclosed. And if that weren't enough, the reverse of the coin features one of the most dramatic doubling errors ever recorded, particularly on the phrase United States of America and quarter dollar, which are so heavily doubled that each letter appears twice, creating a ghost text effect that causes visible blurring and distortion that can be clearly seen even without magnification, a clear indication of a hub doubling mishap during the die creation process. But the strangeness doesn't stop there, because this particular coin also presents with what's called a clash die effect, where impressions of the obverse design can be faintly seen mirrored onto the reverse, suggesting the dies collided with each other without a planchet between them, an extremely rare occurrence that requires both timing and technical failure. And layered on top of that is a rare form of lamination error where the coin's outer layer is peeling away like flaking skin, revealing the core in jagged, unnatural shapes that resemble the contours of a map. And this peeling is most severe near Washington's temple, extending downward toward his neckline, giving the portrait an eerie, fractured appearance as though the metal itself is tearing away from history. And when you consider all of these factors, the quadruple strike, the off-center alignment, the misaligned collar, the railroad rim, the die cracks, the cuds, the clash dies, the extreme doubling, the lamination errors, and the unexpected elemental composition, you start to understand why this one coin is considered the rarest and most valuable quarter ever found. A coin that essentially captures every major and minor mint error known to exist in the modern minting era all within one specimen, a freak of metallurgy. that defies probability and logic, and has even led to conspiracies that it may have been an intentional test strike or sabotage effort by a disgruntled mint employee. A theory that gained traction after private records emerged suggesting unusual activity at the Philadelphia Mint during a brief window in 1989 when several machines underwent emergency repairs and mint officials issued vague internal memos about unauthorized experimentation, and while no official confirmation has ever been released, the mystery only adds to the allure of this multimillion-dollar marvel, and perhaps what's most incredible is how this coin was discovered, in the bottom of a coffee tin in a Pennsylvania garage sale by a retired machinist who purchased a random batch of old coins for just $5, completely unaware of what he had stumbled upon until years later when his grandson showed it to a coin dealer out of curiosity and instantly set off a frenzy of authentication, certification, and valuation processes that would eventually culminate in one of the most shocking appraisals in the history of coin collecting, ultimately fetching an estimated market value of $555 million during a confidential private bidding war between multiple elite collectors and international institutions, and although the exact buyer remains anonymous to this day, whispers in the collecting community hint at a royal family or perhaps a billionaire tech magnate with a passion for unique historical artifacts, and regardless of who owns it now, the 1989 P quarter has become a symbol of the unpredictable and thrilling world of coin collecting, where even the most unassuming pieces of pocket change can contain secrets worth fortunes, and the story has inspired thousands of hobbyists, treasure hunters, and everyday Americans to check their change, search their drawers, and dive into old piggy banks in hopes of finding the next miracle coin, because as incredible as this story is, the existence of one such error proves that others may be out there waiting to be discovered, perhaps hiding in plain sight in a forgotten coin jar or passed along in everyday transactions, and it is for that reason that this channel continues to share these discoveries, educate the public, and ignite the passion of numismatics, not just to spotlight the incredible value that rare coins can hold, but to celebrate the rich and often accidental history that they carry with them, a tangible link to the processes, people, and possibilities of our national past, and an enduring reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures come from the most ordinary places. So if you have a 1989 quarter with a P mint mark, take a closer look, check for those striking errors, the overlapping images, the strange rims, the lamination peels, and any signs of doubling or metal anomalies, because you never know if you're holding onto the next multimillion-dollar marvel that could change your life forever and bring you into the elite ranks of numismatic legend. And as always, keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass handy, and your curiosity alive, because the next great discovery could be right in your pocket.